Hello, and welcome to the TWSN Patreon page. Here we will provide you with the sports betting tips, picks, and information in order for you to become a successful gambler. We have 5 packages that I think really do an incredible job of providing the information tailored to you, what you want, and what your sports betting needs are. For more information, reach out to the TWSN team, but we have a ton of stuff coming your way. Content from fantasy football, sports betting for UFC, NBA, NHL, and of course the NFL. We are so excited to be able to bring this service to you, and let us know if there's any more information you need.
Get up, let me begin. This is TWSN. You ain't heard about us yet, well you better know now because it's the place that it all goes down on.
Hey everybody, I'm Dom, that's Trey. You might remember us from the Low Quality Sports Show. We're excited to be back with TWSN, bringing you our new show, Shop Talk. We will be live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Trey just ran over here from practice. A little bit of background on me, and I'll let Trey talk more about himself. I play football at Stetson University in Florida, Division I tight end. I'm going to bring you a little bit of hot takes, some that might pan out, some that might not, but I'm going to say everything that I believe. I'm passionate from Cleveland. And Trey, what do you got for us?
This is I'm so excited to be a part of this. My name is Trey Mason. I play Division I football as well at Butler University. I'm from North Carolina. I'm not going to have as many hot takes as Dom, but everything I'm going to say is going to be my opinion. All this show is about is really just authenticity and just engaging with you guys, and also just being able to talk sports, just like that same feel that you get when you're in the barbershop. Feel free to talk to us. We're going to answer you. We're going to engage with you guys, and we're just going to kick back, relax, and have some good conversations. We got a lot to talk about tonight. My Dallas Cowboys play tonight. Now, before you sit there and get mad at me for being a Cowboys fan, please understand I am not delusional. I am not crazy. I personally feel like we are going to lose tonight, but I'm still hopeful. It's a new year. We got our quarterback back, Dom. I'm really excited, and just like this great feeling that I have being back on the air with my boys, back with TWSN, I feel really, really good about this NFL season. Dom, what do you have to say about this season coming up?
I want to lead off by saying I see Derry's in the chat right now. Derry plays center for us over at Stetson. Baltimore Ravens, he's a Maryland guy. Marcus Peters, man. How are we feeling about Marcus Peters tearing his ACL, being out for probably the season now, Trey?
I mean, it's a big blow. It's certainly a big blow for sure, and it's going to be very interesting to see how the Ravens react to it and how the Ravens adjust to it on the fly. But I honestly feel like this is just a precursor to what the NFL season is going to be. Every year, Dom, we're seeing it earlier and earlier now with the return of training camp. Players are going to get hurt. And every single year, it's always somebody that you don't expect. A good example of this, I think, is the Carolina Panthers last year. Christian McCaffrey, up until that point, had only missed, I think, like 2 career games. And then he missed practically the entire season last year. And he was supposed to be a big piece of that Carolina Panthers offense with the new head coach in Matt Rule. So I think that really all these injuries that we're seeing early on heading into the season, and especially with the Ravens, with J.K. Dobbins tearing his ACL early, then they lose Gus Edwards, it's just going to be a whole bunch. I see my boy Grant talking about don't get me started on CMC. He got him in fantasy last year. Hey, I'm not going to go on my Christian McCaffrey rant, but I think all these injuries early will just be a precursor to, I think, unfortunately, what is going to happen when we get things started on Sunday. So I think that's the big thing to look out for is how do these teams react? How do these injuries early on affect the rest of the season? And just also keep how much they change the way that the division changes as well, because all it takes is one injury. The San Francisco 49ers were about to go back on that Super Bowl run. What happens? Nick Bosa gets hurt, Jimmy Garoppolo gets hurt, Mostert gets hurt. Injuries change so quickly the landscape of the division. So I think that is the biggest thing when we talk about these injuries coming up.
Absolutely, and it's a shame. And I mean, we see Kevin down here talking about Le'Veon Bell. People got to step up, especially in the at that level. Our level, it's the next man up mentality. Running backs when they get hurt. I hate to say this, and I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer, but running backs are almost replaceable at some points. I mean, we see CMC go down, and Mike Davis has a good year for the Panthers. Obviously, doesn't replace CMC, but if guys are ready to go, they're going to be ready to go. And injuries are a part of the game, and the better teams are the ones that are prepared for injuries and have depth at certain positions. Sometimes when you lose a guy like a CMC, or if when Mahomes went down against the Browns in the playoffs, like you're going to see a dip in play. But a good example would be the Chiefs against the Browns in the playoffs when the backup quarterback came in and held my Browns from winning.
But I see you getting over that really well. I'm glad to see you recovering from that.
Yeah, I'm recovering. We're going to move on now to talk about, let's just open up with, how about we talk about your Cowboys tonight against the Bucs? Trey, I'm going to say this. They're winning tonight. The Dallas Cowboys are going to win this game.
Please don't.
We're going to get off the air, and the Dallas Cowboys are going to win. And the Dallas Cowboys are also going to win the division. I hate to admit it because I like seeing you suffer. But, it's just going to be a matter of Dak Prescott's going to be healthy. He has arguably the best receiving core in the NFL. Guaranteed, definitely one of them. When you have Amari Cooper being talked about as a 2, that's something's up there. So I like this Cowboys team this year. I think the defense improved and is going to see a little bit of a jump, but I just think that offense is so talented that they're going to put up so many points that they're going to win games against guys like the Bucs, who, obviously they're a fantastic team, but will they be able to keep up with the points that the Cowboys score? I think Tom Brady's on the back end of his career.
Oh my gosh, stop. Just stop it with the Tom Brady foolishness. Every single year you sit there and you get on Tom Brady. I just want the record to show that I have been saying Tom Brady is still the superstar quarterback that he is, and I think Tom Brady's going to have another fantastic year. I had to stop you there, and I get it. He's caused you a lot of pain as a Browns fan, and you being in the AFC have to deal with him for a long time. But just accept it. He's not going anywhere. Okay. You sat there and you tried to tell me that Cam Newton replacing him might end up being better for the Patriots. So just stop it. Give Tom Brady his credit.
But whatever. Let's get back to your Cowboys tonight. How are you feeling about that game?
Okay, so here's the thing with the Cowboys, and I'm going to be honest as a Cowboys fan. Am I excited to see Dak Prescott back? Absolutely. I'm really excited to see him play. I'm really excited to see him healthy. I think this offense is going to look similar to what it was before he went down. But at the end of the day, we got to be real with ourselves, Dom. This is the best quarterback we've ever seen in Tom Brady. This is an offense returning, all 22 starters? If not all 22, practically all of them, right? They have experience. And I think Tom Brady's leadership is so underrated. What impresses me about the Bucs, and you saw it last year, any situation they were ready for. And you just couldn't help but feel like it was the veteran leadership of Tom Brady, as well as Bruce Arians having coached an Arizona Cardinals team that, though didn't win the Super Bowl, made a deep run in the NFC Championship. So there's some experience there. You just feel like the Bucs always are ready for any situation. And regardless of what happens tonight, the Bucs are going to be one of the teams looking to win the Super Bowl at the end of the year. But I feel like experience is going to be so big. When you're talking about opening night, you have jitters, mistakes are going to happen. Which team responds to those mistakes quicker, and which teams are going to keep their cool and be able to capitalize off the other team's mistakes is going to be the difference maker. And the bottom line is, and if you watch any type of Hard Knocks, even though this is Mike McCarthy's second year, I feel like we're going to see a lot of rookie mistakes with that team because they're finally going to be together and they're still figuring things out. They didn't have a training camp last year, Dom. Right. So I feel like this defense with Dan Quinn, I'm really excited to see Dan Quinn. They're going to go back to that one high 4-3 look that they had a couple years ago, in which they were very, very successful. But I still think it's going to take some time. I think the defense will be better than what it was last year. I think Trevon Diggs is going to improve. Michael Parsons, I'm excited to see. I think DeMarcus Lawrence will get back to what we're used to seeing him. My hope is that LVE and Jalen Smith are healthy as well. So I think the defense will improve. But it's Tom Brady on opening night. He's seen everything. He's gonna know what Dallas is going to try to do. I feel like it's gonna come down to him making a couple key plays when his team needs him that's gonna end up giving the Bucs the win tonight. Do I think it's gonna be the blowout that some people are predicting it's gonna be? I don't think so. But I as a Cowboys fan, all I want to see is that defense play a little better. And I want to see everybody on the Dallas Cowboys offense be healthy. And I want to see Ezekiel Elliott get back to being what he was a couple years ago.
See, that's what I'm going to say to you, Trey. I think you're going to win the game tonight, besides all the points you made. It's hard to argue Tom Brady is the greatest of all time, and he's still playing at a high level. But at some point, everyone stops I think it's time. I see Kevin saying, it's hard to be 43. It's bound to happen at some point. I think it's this year. Moving on past that, and we're going to move on to our next subject, but I just want to really quickly say that I full-heartedly believe that the Cowboys are going to win the NFC East this year.
We'll see, man. Washington's a good team.
We're going to move into way too early Super Bowl predictions.
Okay.
I know mine's going to come off a little biased, so I'm going to let you go first, Trey. Who do you have? If you had to pick two teams right now, gun to your head, said Trey.
Okay, so here's the thing. For the AFC, I'm going to take the Bills, and I'm going to tell you why. I think the Bills are the best equipped team outside of the Kansas City Chiefs to make a Super Bowl run. I really like Josh Allen as a quarterback. I see the Bills improving defensively, even though they already weren't a bad team. I think they had a very underrated draft simply because they drafted a lot of players that weren't hot going into the draft. And what always happens is when you have a team pick a bunch of players that people don't see hyped up by the media, they tend to question those picks. I think the Bills made some really good picks in the draft. I think they only got better and solidified their roster. So I feel like the Bills could be a team that I could see making that run into the playoffs, especially because they got a chip on their shoulder. You know what I mean? They lost to Kansas City. I don't think they're going to be afraid of Kansas City. At the end of the day, the smart pick is Kansas City, but it's so hard to go to Super Bowl 3 years in a row. It is so incredibly hard, and that means that things have to line up for you perfectly 3 straight years. And that's not to say that Kansas City isn't the best team in the league. That's just saying I just feel like history tells you it is really, really hard to go 3 years in a row. So I'm going to take the Bills simply because I really don't know if any of the other good AFC teams are on the same level in terms of the Bills and the Chiefs in terms of how prepared they are on the AFC side of the ball. I think an underdog or a dark horse would be the Chargers.
Right, I'm going to jump in here really quick because we're talking about the AFC. I see my guy Bailey's in the chat, so I'm going to get this off my chest now. I wasn't going to do it. I was going to go with the Bills. Don't you do it.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
I can't believe I'm doing it.
Don't you do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not.
Browns are going to be in the Super Bowl this year, and I'm going to tell you why. We're going to see Baker Mayfield go from a top 14 quarterback to a top 8. We have the best running back duo in the NFL. We have arguably the best offensive line in the NFL. We have a solid receiving core with Jarvis, Odell, all those good guys. Higgins is even a solid wide receiver. You look at all of that, the weapons we have in offense, great. But this is why, Trey. You flip it over, you flip the script, you go to the defense. We lost last year because of our defense. That's just the reality. Our offense played fine. Every game we lost was typically on the defense with the exception of the few Baker sputters earlier in the year. This defense is new and improved with the additions we have from Hill to even Clowney, who's not that, he's on the back end of his career, but Myles Garrett and maybe on Clowney on the same team. Are you kidding me? The draft was fantastic. I don't even need to get into that. JOK, what a steal, right? Greg News, what a pick. This team, Trey, has Super Bowl written all over it. They're hungry. And they're going to grab it. And, we don't need to talk as much about the NFC right now because I think we could both agree the Packers are coming out of the NFC.
Dom. Our boss is a Bengals fan. We just got back with the Right Way Sports Network, and you come and you say just foolishness like this. You must be trying to get us kicked off the air already. I don't understand how you sit there and with a straight face tell me the Browns are good to go to the Super Bowl. It's not even a guarantee the Browns make the playoffs, if I'm being completely 100 with you. That AFC North is tight. Joe Burrow's going to be healthy. The Bengals are not going to be a cakewalk. We know the Ravens and the Steelers aren't going to be a cakewalk. So don't even sit here and come at me with a straight face and act like it's a guarantee the Browns will make the playoffs.
Room is out for the season.
And before you even talk about the Packers being a shoe-in as Super Bowl contenders, there's a lot of unknowns with the NFC, which is why I think the NFC is the hardest conference to predict of the two. Because
that's not even
the
true.
Rams,
there's like 5 contenders out of the AFC.
Wait a minute. No. Because this time last year, you weren't even fully bought on the Bucks. So I'm not taking anything you say serious right now when it comes to the NFC Super Bowl predictions. The Rams could be a contender. We got Matthew Stafford finally in a system where he's finally able to really let it fly and have some weapons, right? The 49ers are going to be healthy again. Nope. Seattle's going to be Seattle.
Nope.
And Arizona with Kyler Murray.
Nope.
That team is only going to get better. So then we go to the NFC East, where I'm telling you right now the Cowboys are not a shoe and even win the East. The Washington football team are a good quarterback away. Seriously, they're a good quarterback away from being a team that makes a surprise run. A defensive team.
Super Bowl?
Look at the history. Literally, when the Giants beat the 16-0 Patriots, they were a defensive team that had good quarterback play, and all of a sudden they're winning the Super Bowl. So don't even sit here and act surprised like defense can't get you to a championship. I don't care what era we're playing in. If you have a good defense, you have a chance to be really, really special, okay? And I'm just being completely honest, okay? Then we go to the NFC South. We got the defending champs in the Bucs. We still don't know about the Saints. I think the Saints are very – right now, I would stay away from the Saints. If you're a Saints fan, you got to be a little concerned. But there's still hope when you have a coach like Sean Payton. You hope that Michael Thomas comes back healthy, and you still have a top 3 back in the NFL with a great offensive line and a defense that, if they can get everything together, should still be a really, really good defense. Right. Regardless of that, the Falcons, I don't think are as bad as everybody makes them out to be. And Carolina is a sleeper team. Yeah, and the NFC North, the Vikings could show up, and the Bears.
We're going to talk about the Panthers in a second, Trey. We are running out of time. Thursday Night Football starts in 4 minutes. We got to start wrapping this up. We have one more point to get to. But I'm going to finish by saying this. You just went out of your way to say the Washington football team.
They're a good defensive team. I'm sorry. They're a good defensive team.
Just to devalue my point about the Browns. You are worried. You are jealous because your Cowboys
I'm not jealous of anything.
have no hope. Your Cowboys have no hope. Your Cowboys have no hope to go to the Super Bowl. And you're trying to take down my dreams by bringing up all this.
I'm just not being delusional about my team, unlike you. Just move on. Move on to the next subject.
Final point, Trey. We're going to agree on this one. Team with the most potential surprises this year. Trey and I did a video about that in the Low Quality Sports Show. We're going to get right into this one. Carolina Panthers. Trey, give us some pointers on that.
Hey, the Carolina Panthers, our home state, our home team, they're going to be a team to watch out for. Christian McCaffrey, I just talked about how healthy he was up until last year. I don't see him repeating that. I think he has a great year. I think he's healthy. Sam Darnold's finally on a competent team and a competent organization. I think he's going to be able to put in some work. I love that they re-signed Robbie Anderson. DJ Moore, one of the most underrated receivers in the league, should have another solid year. Defensively, they drafted J.C. Horn. I wanted him to be a Dallas Cowboy, but he's with the Carolina Panthers. He should pair up well with Deontay Jackson. And Jeremy Chin, I think, is going to become a top 3 safety after this season, Dom. You can put it down and you can guarantee it now. Why? Because he's so versatile. He moves everywhere. He's big. He's a great leader. I see him putting himself into the conversation as one of the best defensive backs in the year by the end of this year. So just a few points.
Agree.
Carolina, I think, is going to be on the rise. I really like Matt Rule as a head coach, and I just feel like they're a fun team to watch. They're the type of team that when you look at the way that the direction their team is headed, the division that they're in, a division with a bunch of unknowns outside the Bucs, why not choose the Carolina Panthers as a surprise team this year?
I'm going with the Carolina Panthers as well. We did make a video on this. Brian Burns coming back. Who knows how good he's going to be? Maybe he'll get the recognition he deserves as a pass rusher. Derek Brown. This team is just a good team all around. J.C. Horn from the draft. Could he be the best cornerback in the draft? I think that's very possible. And you move back to the offensive side. I mean, they just have a bunch of solid players around, Sam Darnold, which is what he needed with the Jets, but he didn't get. I like Robbie Anderson. I like DJ Moore a lot. And we even get to the tight ends. Tommy Tremble, our producer Ozzy, he's a Notre Dame guy. Ozzy's behind the scenes right now. He's done a great job. Continue doing a great job. I like that. That's an H-back you get to use. Dan Arnold was signed. You remember that whole Panthers video they released on him? I'm pretty pumped up for this Panthers team, and I'm just going to bring it all back to the number one reason why they are going to be successful this year. I'm seeing them as a 10-win-plus team, and it is because of their quarterback, Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold is going to be electric this year. I don't necessarily know if he's going to be Patrick Mahomes level talent, Aaron Rodgers level talent, but he's going to take a step forward. He's going to make plays, and like you said, in a competent offense, he's going to play well. We see down here, check out our guy who's wrote some articles about Burns. I agree. I think Burns could lead the league in sacks. That's not far-fetched. And I think this Panthers team is going to be a team that takes everyone by surprise.
Let Sam play, man. Let Sam be free. Let Sam do what he does. And he's still young, but he's now got a couple of years of experience under his belt, so you won't have as many growing pains, even if he's in a new offense. I'm excited about the Carolina Panthers this year.
Absolutely. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. We're going to let you get over to Thursday Night Football, watch the Cowboys beat the Bucs. You heard it here first. Put all your money on it. I actually can't say that via NCAA rules.
Yeah, you're going to get in trouble.
I take that back. Let's cut it. This was fun. I'm excited to keep doing this. Every Thursday, 8 p.m., Shop Talk with Trey and I. Trey, any last remarks?
Hey, thanks for joining us. We'll be back this time next week. Let's go, boys.
There you go. Thank you guys for watching.
Get up, let me begin. This is TWSN. You ain't heard about us yet, well you better know now because it's the place that it all goes down.